I can't wait to dive straight into KOF 95. I hope the AI opponents have been programmed to be fair and not a bigger advantage like with the final boss. So I'm pretty sure they must have fixed that, right? Right?
No.
The King of Fighters 95. This game, I know this may still be the beginning of my conquest to do a deep analysis review on every KOF game, and this is barely the second game, but this might just be the best and worst KOF game in the series. If you haven't seen my previous KOF review, I recommend you pause this video and start with the King of Fighters 94 deep analysis review, because it's going to come full circle here. KOF 94 and 95 share more similarities with each other when compared to the rest, and as much as I enjoyed playing them both, this one has a specific buff that is beyond ridiculous. But we'll get there. I'm going to start things off by talking about the characters in the game. So all the previous teams but one have returned. The USA team would not be returning and would instead be replaced with the rival team, which consists of Saisyu Kusanagi from the Art of Fighting series, Billy Kane from the Fatal Fury series, and Yori Yagami, a new character to the series and rival of Kusanagi. If you ask me, I think it was a good idea to replace the USA team with this rival team. I couldn't really get into the USA team members, and I guess the developers must have felt the same way because we wouldn't see them for a long time. Now that I've started diving into the KOF series, I had to try every character out and figure out their strengths and weaknesses. It didn't take long at all to find out that Iori had some of the best strengths when compared to the entire roster. He has the same type of special moves as his rival Kyo, with the addition of a special move that can be connected into 3 hits. He even has his mid-air back jump kick, which can be connected with his 3-hit special combo, dealing massive damage. I wish every character could do this. It's a very unique basic attack, and because Yori is the only one capable of pulling it off, it makes him just a little more special than everyone else here. Saisyu Kusanagi is a character I hate playing as. He looks cool, but for a ninja, he has some really short-ranged basic attacks. His specials take a little too long to recover, and he doesn't even use shurikens. I feel like this character should have included some iconic ninja techniques or weapons. This is a character that should be awesome by default. But according to his appearance in the King of Fighters Kyo manga, he's a joke character. So he's a semi-serious guy, he's a ninja, and he's a joke. Could have fooled me. Why didn't they throw in some funny faces when he gets hit or KO'd? Give us a hint that he's a joke character by his appearance while fighting and not by having to realize that his moveset is a joke. Billy Kane is a character I'm glad to see included in this game, mainly because it's thanks to him that I can guarantee to beat the 2 bosses of the game. Well, once you realize the final boss's weaknesses, Billy will basically be the perfect bodyguard. You'll see in a bit. Coming back to the Korean team, I gotta say, this time I couldn't really get into playing as my favorite of the team, Kim Kaf-won. I just couldn't get into his new basic attacks. Choi and Chang remain the same. Well, they felt the same, so no problems there. With the Ikari team, once again, this is a great team to come back to. Hydern has his long reach attacks, Ralph and Clark have easy ways to connect with the grappling special, and their desperation moves, aka ultimates, are much easier to pull off this time. The hero team is alright. Once again, they're not my pick of the week. There aren't many problems that I notice when playing as them, but I'm just not a big fan of those characters. Kyo Kusanagi is an exception, but I'd rather play as Yori since he's got that overhead back kick. The Fatal Fury team, they're pretty good as well. I can't really think of anything new to add to them. I'm not the expert when it comes to Fatal Fury team, so if you guys got anything to say about it, just let me know in the comments. The Art of Fighting team is worth coming back to. Ryo's ultimate can now also be performed in mid-air, although you might not want to try it in mid-air because you gotta input the commands at a slow pace for some reason. The women's team is highly recommended. Of course, you can always edit your team, but if you're going for the women's team ending, you'll have a good advantage with these 3 characters on the team. They each have projectiles. Mai has her wall jumps and air specials. Yuri's desperation move has a long reach, and King is just as good as she was in the previous KOF game. Best way to sum it up, this trio is the tits. The Psycho Soldier team is okay. I'm still not a fan of Chin. If he wasn't all floaty in the air and had a better reach, then maybe I could get used to playing as him. I had a little more fun playing as Kenso and Athena. Their animations and sound effects are really cool, but their movesets, they're way cooler. Their inputs for executing their ultimates may appear a bit tricky, but they always seem to land. Whereas in the previous KOF game, I couldn't get a majority of desperation moves to be performed without multiple tries. But that also goes for a lot of the characters in this game. They actually fixed the issue of trying to pull off those ultimates. So even if the inputs looked complicated, you'll have no problems pulling them off, especially since most of them must be executed at a slow pace. It's weird because I've never played a fighting game where the correct way to execute an ultimate is by inputting the commands at a slow pace rather than at a fast one. But I ain't complaining since I managed to land plenty of ultimates on the AI this time, making me win fights where I was so close to losing and even end up taking down all 3 opponents with my first character. Desperation moves can deal up to 60%. That means 2 broken ribs, 1 loose tooth, and a fat lip that can only be seen with a pixel eye. The stages in this game are an improvement compared to the previous KOF game. They're all beautiful! I mean, look at these. The colors pop. The Mexico stage reminds me of the bell tower from Mortal Kombat. The Brazil stage looks like it represents a stage from Metal Slug. Maybe it is. I mean, this is the Ikari team stage, and the Ikari team has been featured in the Metal Slug series. The China stage, oh man, that's pixel heaven. The England stage is one of my favorites. You have Ryohaku Toto, Heavy D, who was part of the USA team in the previous KOF, the Birdman, and if you look closely, you can even see a little birdie that tags along with him. The waitresses are friends of King. They always cheer for her and her team, and that guy in the center seems mighty suspicious. The Italy stage has this small sign that has KOF written on it. Kinda makes it think that this is the location of the tournament itself. And only 6 people showed up to spectate. And a monkey. Still a beautiful stage though. The Japan stage is the most recognizable in the series. Not only because that building actually exists, but because of its quality presentation. It's been a fan favorite ever since, and it's made so many appearances in the later KOF games, and I'm sure it'll continue to be a tradition in the KOF series. Now, since all characters are back excluding the USA team, there's not much of a difference when it comes to how the AI performs here compared to the AI in KOF 94. You can honestly take the tips and strategies I explained in my KOF 94 review and implement them here. I'm glad that the hero team is no longer an annoyance though, like they were in KOF 94. Daimon was not really a problem. It was mainly Benimaru and Kyo, especially Kyo. He would counter everything you threw at him. That's why I could only beat him with Rio and Robert's air specials, because they would either land the hit or leave chip damage. When it comes to taking on the rival team, they don't really have any complicated patterns. And even though I couldn't find specific weaknesses for all 3 characters, they're not broken when the AI uses them. But what is broken is the amount of damage that the AI can cause at random.
Ya valió madre.
How did they not fix this? It didn't take long at all to notice this problem. It's annoying, it's frustrating as hell, and it completely throws off your game. You'll start a match with a certain strategy in mind, the AI hits you twice and suddenly you're about to go into a coma. Completely throws you off. You suddenly have to start getting defensive, and I mean in both blocking and vulgar language. And the crazy thing is that it just happens at random. Sometimes the AI will deal the right amount of damage, but then sometimes he hits you once and BAM! It's like you just got hit with a brick to the face. It's bullshit. He's being so predictable. Why'd you taunt? You're losing. Oh, God. Oh, come on, that shouldn't have landed. Damn. Oh, what the She got caught and then she jumped back. Oh, damn it! Oh! Oh yeah, I'm gonna charge him too. Oh fuck! Oh god, look at that damage! What the? This time, instead of taking on Rugal twice, you gotta deal with Kyo's father, Saishu Kusanagi, for one round, then Rugal for the next. Surprisingly, the strategy to beat them both is even simpler than in KOF 94. This time, you only gotta back up against the wall and poke Saishu every time he gets close enough. The fist attack might work though. If he doesn't sweep, yeah, or do that. Careful. He hits you once, that's like oblivion of fucking damage. Okay, there you go. Ah, oh, crap. Oh, good. You can throw in a sweep here and there, but it's just best to kick repeatedly every time he's near you. And when it comes to taking on Rugal, it's literally the same strategy, but make sure to dodge his projectiles first. Otherwise, he'll keep countering your pokes. You can trick Rugal into backing up and performing his projectiles by performing basic attacks. So just jab at a distance to get him to use his projectiles, that way you can start dodging them. He lowers his guard every time you dodge his projectiles. That's when you perform pokes and kicks only when he approaches you. The best team to choose if you really want to get better chances against those two bosses is a rival team. Iori and Kisaragi can be used to deal with Saishu, and Billy can poke at a further distance and even land his extended pole attack, which landed a good majority of times every time I tried it. Rugal leaves himself open when he taunts, so you can always try to land an ultimate if you have a full bar or your life bar is blinking. But don't try it when he's charging up his meter. He'll always counter it. With this team. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Rugal. Oh no, Rugal. No te crees, Rugal. Oh. Oh, but. Oh my god. And that's how you beat the arcade run of KOF 95. It's a fun ride, but that damage, the inconsistent damage that comes from the AI is just unforgivable. I can't tell you how many times I had a good strategy in mind, jumped in, got a jab to the face, and suddenly my character is close to getting knocked the fuck out. Because of this, you just can't have any fun playing the arcade run because of this. Everything gets thrown out the window, all because the developers wanted to empty the pockets full of change from anyone attempting to play the arcade machine. I want to love this game. I had a good time playing KOF 94, and this one is like an upgraded version of that game, all except for that damn damage. It pisses me off even practicing in the training mode, all because suddenly your character is shown to deal that bizarre amount of damage that the AI will randomly deal. Why? I've done this move against the AI opponent in the arcade run and it dealt about 30% damage. And it's not like a full meter bar gives you a boost in normal damage.
Wait a minute, wait.
Do you think?
Is it possible? My god. But why? What? A full meter bar can give you a boost in basic attacks? I can't believe this. It works. But why is it that I'm barely figuring this out? This wasn't told in the how to play instructions before you select a character, and nobody even mentioned this in forums or any reviews for that matter. I just can't believe it. Was this meant to be a secret? Or did the developers forget to mention such an important fact? This is madness, but it's also great news. Now I can fight the AI and teach that cheating bit a lesson. Yeah, feel that damage, bitch. Damn. Uh-oh. Oh, fuck. Oh, man. Ooh, damn. Yeah. The previous KOF game barely gave certain characters any special moves, so I like that this game gave everyone a fair amount of special moves, and some even got 2 ultimates instead of 1. But you know what? I guess in a way you could say there are some pros and cons, and that's got to be one of the best pros. It was never utilized in every other KOF game for that matter, you know, they didn't do it for a reason. I just don't understand why nobody really talks about this. How come people only complain about that boost in damage, but they don't mention this? Did anyone really even realize it? Well, let's see. One of the cons I could also say is that you can't really short hop here. I mean, you can perform long-range jumps, but as I demonstrated, I just couldn't pull a single one off no matter what I tried.
So I figured it out, but I can't even pull it off. It says you gotta hold down for a short period of time. Hold down, and then you push at the direction you want to jump, and you'll do the after image jump. But I can't pull it off. How long is this? Oh, okay, there you go. Wait, but that was like 5 seconds. Oh, man. And I know I'm jumping at the right direction because how else? Like I want to jump forward. My character jumped forward, so I'm holding down and then I'm jumping forward. It says that's how you pull it off. So how come I'm not pulling it off? I am holding down, as you can see, and I am jumping forward, as you can see. What the f?
If you know how to perform it without being a gamble, please let me know in the comments, because even though this game can be listed as possibly the worst arcade KOF game, it's also one of the best. I heard that the AI difficulty is not too broken in specific ports of KOF 95, but I haven't been able to verify that for myself. So maybe, again, this can be answered in the comments if anyone knows whether it's true or not. Overall, after realizing the big advantage we get from having a maxed meter bar, I thought it was the answer to this cheap AI we're dealing with, but the AI still has a big advantage. It still pulls off specials and ultimates with ease. It still deals a great amount of damage without the full meter bar. And that's one big issue that ruins the experience of this game. I love everything it brought back and everything that's new, all except for the cheapness that lies within the computer opponents. I am surprised that I actually managed to beat the arcade run without losing once. The best way this game can be enjoyed is with a friend, of course. I mean, at least that way you don't have to worry about someone being cheap or not.
What the? I suddenly feel like things just sped up. What the? What? Why are things moving fast at random? Look at that! What the hell's going on? Huh? Oh my god, I think this is happening just because I have the music off. You gotta be kidding. Alright, alright. Let's turn that shit back on. No way, don't tell me that's... But characters are back to normal. Yeah, what the why? Why does it do that? It should be... Well, I guess in theory kind of might make sense if you think about it. You remove the music, everything can work faster. But it shouldn't though, like at least not that way. Right? That's weird. I guess people can use that as a way of exploitation for speedruns.
So that's as much as I can say for this review. Quite long, right? Now, next time we'll be talking about KOF 96, one of my favorites, and hopefully it'll be a little more positive than this one after doing a full deep analysis. That's it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button to give this video a chance to grow. I'd like to thank all my Patreon supporters for their impeccable generosity. Your support means a lot to me, and you are part of the reason why I try to make the best content that I can. And if you like this content, check out the rest of my channel. You'll find more entertainment from separate franchises I like to cover, such as Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, Celebrity Deathmatch, Men in Black, The Mask, Batman comics, The Terminator, TMNT, Dino Crisis, Resident Evil, and more. If you're a Patreon supporter, check out my exclusive videos such as the Gantz content. And if you'd like to show your support, go to my Patreon and support the channel, which is only $1. Sacrifice that McChicken for extra quality content, my friend. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.